Hi, I'm Valerie Espinosa, your Public Regulation Commissioner, and I'd like to welcome you back to another edition of our program. Today we have a very special guest, and his name is Alan Weber. Well, I want to welcome you, and thank you for taking the time in your busy schedule.
Valerie, it's always fun to be with you. You are a true
Isn't it?
public servant, and I love being here with you.
Well, thank you. I hope this isn't the first or last time.
It is the first for you and me in this setting, but it's not the first time we've been talking to each other about Santa Fe, New Mexico, the issues in front of our community, and to do it here and now in this program is a real pleasure. So thanks for having me.
I don't know if you're aware, but we've been doing this program about 15 years. And, you know, I interview either candidates, anybody that wants to be on the program, really. So if anyone wants to be on the program, I'll announce that, yes, call my office, 827-4533. This program has been great. I've interviewed everybody except the governor. So maybe we can invite the candidates that are running for governor to be here.
That would be great. People need to hear. I mean, these elections right now, as you know from your own experience, we're in the middle of a very important election season.
That's right. And you're running for mayor.
I'm running for mayor.
And so we want to hear all about you. I know that I've known you. I've seen you in the community helping. I've always been impressed with some of the editorials you've written related to renewable energy.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I not only have followed our friendship, but your career.
Thank you.
And so I'm going to let you tell us all about who Alan Weber is. Tell the public who you are and why you're running.
Oh, thank you, and thanks for the positive feedback. You know, I'm like you. I believe in public service. I think we're all here to make things better and to leave things better than we found them. I love Santa Fe. My wife and I have been here for about 15 years, and this is home.
How does your wife feel about you running for mayor?
You know, Frances is a great person. She's actually one of the most empathetic and compassionate people you'll ever meet. She worked with me brilliantly when I ran for governor, and in this mayor's race, she's saying, let's really pitch in and touch people's lives, listen to people, connect with people, hear their stories, hear what matters to them most. We have a lot of people in Santa Fe who are struggling to make ends meet. We need better jobs. We need better housing. We need better public transportation. These are the things I hear every day.
How about the homeless?
We have a very serious problem with homelessness, and it's not limited to adults. We have children, unfortunately, in our schools who are sofa surfing and couch surfing and living in cars. And I think that's unacceptable. I think it's unacceptable that we have so many hungry people. This is a great community. Mm-hmm. We have great agricultural resources right here at the community college. They're experimenting with advanced agricultural production. This is a farming state, and yet we have people who go hungry. 30% of our kids go to bed hungry every night. And you know, as an elected official, you don't get to talk about that because you're really working hard on your daily effort to fulfill your personal commitments.
That's
but
right.
The things that keep you up at night and the things that make you passionate about public service are kids and seniors and veterans.
Absolutely.
People who are struggling to make ends meet, single moms who are having 2 jobs to try to put food on the table. So I think the job of the mayor, particularly as we shift to a strong mayor form of government, is really to be a great manager, to use people's tax dollars carefully and wisely, but also to listen and work with all parts of our community so nobody feels left out, nobody feels left behind, and everybody feels included, and the future of Santa Fe includes them and their well-being too.
You trigger a lot of my questions that I might have, you know, and then there's the issue with the water. And I'm not sure if you remember that they covered it in the newspaper, you know, the overages or the overcharges, and there was an issue whether, well, you know, shouldn't you, I personally thought they should have refunded, you know, the excess to the consumer, but in return I think they used it for other sources.
That's
Do you
correct.
remember what happened
Yeah,
there?
I think we've had, when you think about some of the challenges of being an elected official, the first one is to have people trust and believe in you, and that you're going to do what you say, and that you're a person of integrity, and that the government is run in a way that gives people confidence. And we've seen for, not just recently, but for some time, too many instances where the city government, and you mentioned the governor, it's happened at the state level too, has not lived up to its promises. There was a recent audit report that found more than 60 examples of either bad management or fiscal mismanagement or sloppy procedures, lack of training, lack of actually giving people the tools they need to do a good job on behalf of the people of the city. And that undermines people's confidence in their elected officials and in the ability of the city to do what it says it's going, it claims it's going to do. We want the city to work for us. Everybody I talk to says, I really wish it were easier to do business with the city. I wish the city were as user-friendly as some of the businesses we encounter, some of the businesses that are organized to make my life easier, not harder.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And that is a challenge right now at every level of government, but local government especially has that close connection to people's lives. And so the job of the next mayor is the strong mayor of the city, the executive. We know where the buck stops now. The buck's going to stop in the mayor's office. That means a chance for the next mayor, and I hope it's me, to really make the city more user-friendly, to make it easier for people to get things done.
I agree, accessible.
Accessible, open, responsive, transparent. Information is easy to get. Permits are easy to get. I was talking to somebody yesterday in the building business who said, when you make it easier for people to do things, you get more people who want to do things.
That's right.
And we want more housing, and we want more jobs. We want young people to stay here. Your work on regulating all of the public utilities in our state, those are important for people. We want sustainable energy.
That's correct.
We want affordable energy. We don't want to have people paying more than they should because we want them to use that money for other things. We want them
like
to use
prescriptions,
take,
like
putting
groceries,
food on the table,
like
clothing,
raising their grandkids.
Exactly. Or having a nice evening out for a change instead of always worrying about, can I make ends meet? So there's an agenda here that has to do with the lives of people in a great place with unlimited potential. I mean, we can't forget that. It's sometimes easy to get caught up in the problem side of the equation, but we should never forget what a privilege and what a joy it is to live here.
I mean, it can't be that hard, going back to your government and your quality of service type responses. It can't be that hard to, if I call your office, I just expect a phone call back. That's really the basic
Right.
assistance that I need.
And it is easier than ever thanks to digital technology, which is also present at the community college. It's easier than ever to simplify those interactions, to take people's paperwork out of the way, put information on the web, make it easier for people to download forms, bring the information to the citizen, to the resident, to the business owner, rather than having them go to the city to get everything done. So I think we're on the cusp of some very great new initiatives.
Right.
It's going to take some new leadership. It's going to take some new thinking. It's going to take a willingness for people to participate. This is not government has to do everything and citizens and residents do nothing. We have to collaborate. We have to work together. And again, I give you high marks for that. You, as an elected official and a person who is responsive, you know that you listen to what people want. You take their advice. You bring that into the deliberations of the PRC, and that becomes the basis for good decision making.
You've got to be devoted.
Yes.
I mean, and I can see that you are completely devoted to I'm not criticizing the way things were done, or because that's not my goal here. It's just to emphasize, your readiness and your willingness to step up to the plate and make some of these changes as it relates to being just professional.
Yeah.
Let's provide a service.
Well, my background as a business person, as an entrepreneur, but also somebody who worked in local, state, and federal government, I know how you do these things. I know how you turn organizations around or lift them up and open them up. I've seen it done. I've done it myself. part of it is creating a culture of opportunity, a culture of excellence, of performance, rewarding people, encouraging people to bring them their best selves.
Especially your employees.
Your employees are, it's the most important thing.
They make
you've
you
got.
shine.
It's all about people. At the end of the day, good management is doing well by the people you're working with. So I'm very eager to get my sleeves rolled up and work on that, and I'm eager to talk and listen to what our folks in Santa Fe have to say about it, what their great experiences are. I sat down with a woman yesterday for a cup of coffee, and she was telling me how wonderful one of the people in the city permitting department really is and what great service she gets. And I thought, that's fantastic to hear that kind of feedback. It's not always grumble, I was delayed or it didn't work well. There are people doing great work every day. Let's give them credit. Let's shine a light on them. And then everybody else gets uplifted by that morale boost that we all need, that pat on the back, that good job, keep doing it. So I am excited about the potential. I think Santa Fe's got unlimited potential. You're right, we don't want to point fingers and cast blame on people. That's not productive. But what that audit did was to point out how we need to make systems better, how we need to invest in better information technology and software, training people so they are in a position to do their jobs well. You don't put anybody in a position to fail. That's a bad idea. That's bad management. That's bad leadership. And Santa Fe right now, because there was a change in our charter, we are positioned
That's right.
for a big shift in how city government works. And people need to remember when they go to the polls on March 6th, it's going to be the first strong mayor. So the mayor will be in a position to be the executive officer.
And that should be, isn't it a full-time job now? And then there's a new salary that accompanies it, and there's a little...
There's more responsibility and there's more accountability. What has happened previously is the accountability gets lost. You don't really know who you are talking to. And frequently, unfortunately, the people who, as citizens, as residents, can get things done are the only people who can get things done are the people who have the inside access. We want access for everybody. You shouldn't have to know somebody to get something done or have a secret, phone number for Batman.
I know, I get calls all the time. Well, I need help at the city. Well, I just call my own counselor and say, hey, can you help these people? Because, it's just really easier that way. But you should be able to just get help. And that's what your job entails.
That is the new job of the mayor, is to be the point person for responsiveness and inclusivity. There's a lot of Santa Feans, unfortunately, who feel that the city really doesn't have an interest in them, doesn't take care of them, doesn't hear them very clearly.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, in government, you and I have a lot in common. We have local, state, and federal government under our belts.
Yep.
But I can see where people think, well, we need more police protection. We need more policing of the neighborhoods. They recently vandalized, and for what I thought I lived in a good neighborhood, the mailboxes. And
Right.
so,
Right.
there's just, what do? It's almost like Albuquerque sometimes. We just don't hear about it or see it.
Well, when you sit down with police, and I've done that as part of my campaign, because you want to listen to the people who are on the front line of public safety and working as community relations officers, really. I mean, the police are in the business of keeping us safe and being in the community. And, they are very aware of how serious the opioid issue is in Santa Fe, how drugs drive crime. People who are unfortunately addicted to these opioids are really creating burglaries, they're creating break-ins and robberies to feed their habit. And we need a comprehensive approach to dealing with that. It's not just the police who are involved. It's the drug courts, it's social workers, it's behavioral health. It is surrounding the problem of people who are in trouble and giving them support, but also recognizing that the law needs to be enforced. And you know this as well as I do. There are examples of people struggling to do better, who want help. We need to make that available. I am personally a great believer that medical cannabis can be a substitute for some of these opioid addictive drugs.
people have got to get on the same page as Colorado. I mean, think about it. Typically, it's iffy, but look at not only the revenue generation, but you get these people, the criminals too, that are peddling this stuff. I couldn't agree with you.
It's a black market, and there's opportunity. Again, file this under the category opportunities staring us in the face to solve social problems, to help people who are having trouble, to give the police the tools they need so they can do their jobs well and safely. We don't want police officers hurt. We don't want first responders hurt.
It's terrible.
We really need to be very mindful of their needs, which often revolve around great training, great support, great help from other parts of the city. They're not an isolated silo. Nothing is a silo anymore. Housing relates to jobs. Jobs relates to transportation. Transportation, jobs, housing relates to education. Relates to a big issue on your agenda, sustainability.
That's right.
We ought to be the most sustainable city in America when you think about it. Whether we're talking about water or energy, we are food.
I mean, look at the facility they have here,
It's
the solar
phenomenal.
facility.
It's phenomenal. I mean, we're on the cusp of doing great things. We're on the cusp, finally, of diversifying our city's economy. When you think about what Meow Wolf has brought to Santa Fe, what Descartes Labs has brought to Santa Fe, what there are people here at the community college who are entrepreneurs, who are incubating great businesses.
The film industry?
The film industry is exploding, and it's going from film to digital entertainment of all kinds. You can't not get excited about that. I was just at a meeting a couple days ago where a Colorado-based firm is cooperating with George R.R. Martin's Stagecoach Foundation to take young people in Santa Fe who otherwise might be at risk and give them digital coding internships. So they can go from being potentially at risk to middle income family earners.
I mean, these millennials are technically savvy.
They are
I'm still old school. But
I know. Somebody said at that meeting, hold up your hand if you need a 10-year-old to program
To
your
help
phone
you.
for you.
or my Google. My granddaughter had to.
Exactly. There are digital natives and there are digital visitors, and the natives are the young people. And we want those young people to stay in Santa Fe.
That's right.
We want them to put down roots and be able to have a home or an apartment and grow a family and have a job that pays good wages, and then they maybe become entrepreneurs themselves. I mean, as I say, it's hard not to get excited because the opportunities are great. It takes, as you've experienced, it takes hard work, it takes building partnerships, putting together all parts of a community so people work collaboratively, and leadership from the elected officials who can actually make things happen. We have great potential. Can we get the leadership to make the things we want to happen really happen?
Well, I like that. You brought in the word leadership. That was going to be my next question. Why should people from Santa Fe, the city of Santa Fe, support you? I know you're no stranger to running for office, and you really are a true leader, and you have given and given and given and helped people and supported people, and you know what it takes. That's my opinion. Why should the rest of the folks that might not know who Alan Weber is, why should they support you?
Well, if you look at my background, if you look at my past.
And I've been selfish. I haven't let you talk about your background.
No. We're having a great conversation. It's more fun to talk about the things the passions we share than to talk about our own personal lives. But people have a reasonable expectation to know me. My background includes public service, working in the mayor's office in Portland, Oregon, consulting to the city manager of Gainesville, Florida, working in state government, helping the governor of Oregon and Massachusetts and Michigan come up with a plan for those places' future. So part of it is how you think about solving problems. And then as a business person, as an entrepreneur, I've actually created jobs. I've actually put people into positions where they earn a living and grown one of the fastest growing, most successful magazines in American business history. So I know what it takes to build a business and to employ people, to work with people, and really to collaborate with people. So I think I have a background that actually fits where we are in Santa Fe right now. I'm passionate about living here. This is the greatest place to live in the United States, if not the
I
whole
couldn't
world.
agree with you.
We have unlimited potential. We've got incredible history and culture and art to be proud of and to embrace and to respect. There's no place like Santa Fe. So even to have the chance to run for mayor is a huge honor. It's a privilege to be on the ballot and to have a shot at really representing the city and taking our city as great as it is and making it better for more people. Getting things done so that everybody feels like they're included in the future of Santa Fe.
Wonderful. I know I have my own wish list of things that I'd like to see. You know, for
I know
instance,
you've
my
already
recycling.
you've already shared them with me. You said here's my top 5.
Here's my wish list. You know, recycling programs. I recycle everything I touch. Everything,
Well,
absolutely.
That's part of a sustainability agenda. We ought to be the highest, most sustainable community in America, and it will make us even more attractive. You know that.
I know, and so you know, if we could just get back to recycling glass,
That's
because
your-
you know I'm not.
That's
gonna
your pet
take
peeve.
glass to
That's your
wherever I've
pet
gotta
peeve.
take.
That's your pet peeve.
Okay, so another thing is, so last night I needed bananas. I went to the grocery store here, and the guy said, "Do you want a bag?" I said, "No, I'm not paying 10 cents. I'll just carry those bananas out." Bags, and they started talking about how they just didn't appreciate it, and it's, you know, some people 10 cents is 10 cents.
Yep.
It's 90 cents less than the dollar that you earned, you know. So you know these, and then you know, just my wish list goes on and on. But I won't be selfish.
But
you already know what it is.
No, I know it, and I respect it, because you as this is something I admire about you enormously. That you've got this very important job, this very important position, but you never lose touch with real people's lives. You're not living at the level of the 21st floor of an executive who never sees how their decisions affect real people. You are, and I honor you for this, you are there so that people can get their voices heard as you make these critical decisions. So
Well, I thank you for that.
hats off to
because
you, my friend.
I'm telling you, I go to work. I go to work every day. You can ask anybody. I'm there. And I know you brought up earlier, you know, about, you know, accountability. There must be some sort of statute. I mean, you know, the county elected officials, when I was a county clerk, I remember the statute said that, you know, you only have to show up to work once a month, you know, and it just doesn't work that way.
No,
You
that's
know,
not
so
the job.
It just doesn't work that way. So
No.
every day there's somebody that comes into my office that needs help, or there's somebody in the hallway looking lost. I helped a 98-year-old man, just a fine gentleman. He just, you know, the PERA building is still
Yes.
named PERA. We
Right.
need to change the name of that building, but I don't know why I haven't been able to do that either. We'll probably need, you know, that somebody that'll listen, like a fourth floor governor or something that might listen to. So many of these seniors show up at the PRA
Right.
building. So I was trying to give the guy directions. He starts telling me he's 98 years old. He remembered my grandfather, State Senator Reggie Espinosa from the 1930s. And so, you know, I get a privilege. It's a privilege to me to help people and guide them, direct them if they have a complaint. And I just see that that's what the mayor's job entails. You're going to have your hands full
Absolutely.
with people like me saying, you didn't pick up my trash, what's the deal? You didn't pick up my recycle, and you're ready. You've got your gloves off, and you're ready to handle this position professionally in terms of no more divisiveness. I know that you unite people and you
That's a
gather
key.
them.
Our community cannot, we are too close, we're too small, we're too tight-knit for divisiveness. We all do better when we all do better, and we all need to do better. You mentioned, you triggered a smile on my face and in my mind when you're talking about people in the halls feeling a little bit lost. I had an awareness this morning. When I was reading the paper, I thought in 5 years or less, every public building in New Mexico, and certainly in Santa Fe, will have a person in the lobby as a concierge or a guide to make sure
Yeah.
that people don't get lost. When you go into some stores, there's somebody there with an iPad or a little mini computer saying, "How can I help you?" We're going to have that in City Hall. We're going to have people actually guided through their experience with whether it's city government or state government, because we're there to help people. We're there to make their lives easier, better, faster, to get things done. And yet we now expect people to navigate it all on their own. That is going to change, and I predict in fewer than 5 years you will have navigators at the front door helping people who need help or want help make the system work for them. And shouldn't be you every time. It should be somebody else who has a really important job guiding folks through the system that we've created to get things done. So
I couldn't agree.
I was smiling with an image in my mind of Valerie at the front door with a little iPad saying, "How may I help you? Are you ready to see somebody at the Genius desk, or what would
Or
you
where?"
like? What would you like done? And could I get you a cup of coffee over at our coffee shop?"
Exactly. Or parking. Can you build a new parking structure for downtown and for our tourists and for our, City Hall, that area? That's another wish list. I mean, these are just the basics.
Well, we have to make it easier for people who want to come to Santa Fe and do business or move here or shop here. We should be absolutely the easiest place for tourists and for residents to go where they want to go and buy what they want to buy as easy as they can.
it might even be a matter of just dissemination of information.
It's
Hey,
part-
we've got a parking garage
it's
down here.
signing,
Use this. Go
it's-
find it.
It's signing.
Spend your money.
It's something as simple as helping people when they're looking for guidance, and we can do that. We can do that better.
And I know we're running out of time, but I know that we're also shifting from a new system of voting. What are
right.
your thoughts on that? I know that, you've got a great county clerk there, or city clerk, I take that back, because she is just really efficient. Yolanda at the
Yes,
City Hall.
Yolanda's on
She's
top of
just
things.
efficient. She knows her job. But, this is going to be a difficult transition.
We're
Sure,
about to have a different kind of a voting system, and I think people will figure it out. It's not that complicated. There will be help. The city is going to put some money into it. There'll be help from good government folks like the League of Women Voters and Common Cause, neighborhood groups, community associations.
So that's another thing you got to alarm people or warn them and then let them know how this is
We
going
have to teach
work.
people, and we have to teach candidates. It's a new system.
That's
Get
right.
comfortable. Don't be afraid. It will work. Your vote will be counted. But I think it's going to be a good experiment. I think we're going to learn from it.
Yeah, I'm
And-
not sure the timing is right because I would be uncomfortable as a former county clerk, and I'm sure that there's going to be some pains, staking kind of, it's you got to be cautious too. This is a great thing, but on the other
Right.
hand, did the machines accommodate that? And so anyway.
Well, I think the campaigns are all going to step up too. I think that the people who are running are going to want all of their supporters, but also the people, since it's ranked choice, people who are looking for a second choice. We're all going to cooperate to try to make it as easy for people to feel that their vote counts.
See, that says a lot about you. We're all going to cooperate. That shows what kind of character you have.
Well, thank you.
And it demonstrates to the public in just this short half hour, what you're made of. And you're full of ideas. And so I really appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me,
I know we
Valerie.
have a little tiny time left. If there's anything you'd like to tell the audience.
Well, I think the biggest message, I think, is that voting counts. And you know this from your own service, that
Every vote.
Votes count and elections have consequences. And so whether you're voting for me, and I would hope people could support me, but it's a big field. So whoever you support and whoever you want to see in the next job, whether it's mayor or on the council or at the state level, your vote matters and your participation matters. It's not just getting there on election day, it's being part of the process and feeling like the electoral process is important to you and touches your life, because we're all in this together. We can't outsource democracy to other people. And that's, again, something about Santa Fe and about New Mexico that people love. We love living here. We want to make it a better place. We all have to get involved to make it a better place. You can't just say, I voted, my job is done. You got to be willing to, every morning, if you can, be informed, be engaged,
Show up.
show up, participate, make your voice heard. In this state, we're a small state, there are 2 million people. We all know each other. We all care about each other. Show up, make your voice heard, participate. That's how we make New Mexico better.
It sounds like you're ready to contribute all as already.
You and me, you and me.
That's it. We'll get it done. You know, you mentioned 2 million people, and they're leaving. They're leaving. I saw that
know.
on the news the other day. But I know it's time for us to almost wrap up here, and I want to thank you.
Thanks, Valerie.
And please welcome you back to. Please come back for another show or 2 or 3 because you
Anytime.
have so much to say and so much to offer.
Well, it's great to be just in a position where you and I can have a conversation and chat about the things we care about, and then we'll take it forward and we'll get back here again and do it.
All right, and let's use that word, simplify. That was my slogan, simplify the process. That'll
got
be
it.
our slogan.
All right.
All righty, well, thank you for watching. If you'd like to appear and you happen to be a candidate in the same race or city council, you'd like to appear, please give me a call at 827-4533, and thank you for watching.